Donald Trump's administration is being rocked by another resignation bombshell, and it couldn't happen at a worse time or to a worse person than the puppy killer in chief herself, Noem, who is panicking as she's looking at these poll numbers and the pushback she is getting from huge protests all across Minnesota. We are going to get into it all and why this is bad news for Noem, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, I want to get into this story, but I first want to start with a story that has broken my heart. A young man who was blinded by an ICE agent who shot him in the face, and I think it's where we need to start, given what is happening at DHS right now. Please, I know it's hard, but take a look.
Well, can you tell us about your injuries now and the prognosis? Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be blind for life. They said my globe was ruptured. I had my lower lid was cut up, and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it. There's a lot to it. I don't remember all the things that they said. I have fractures in my skull that they can't fix, and I can't sneeze or cough because it's dangerous too. I remember also when I shot, there was pepper in it, and I had pepper down my throat. It made it hard to breathe for a long time. They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
Totally blind right now? You see nothing out of the eye?
Nothing out of this eye. Yeah, it's black.
This is not an agency or a government or a group of people that we can be rational with. They hate us. They want to hurt us. This is what they want to do. They think it gives them power and makes them tough. Anyone saying that just a little bit more training or some more money or a couple of guardrails is going to stop ICE agents from doing this doesn't know what they're talking about, doesn't care, and doesn't want to fight fascism. Unless we defund and remove, start from scratch, this agency, there's nothing that we can do to correct what is already happening. This isn't a few bad apples. This is systemic. This is the point, is cruelty. And that was clear with what Carolyn Levitt's response was to the brutality of ICE in this clip right here, and it's why we're seeing this resignation bomb rock Donald Trump's administration.
Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on, Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 US citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
They hate us. They hate us. They want to threaten us. They want to intimidate us. They will mock us. They will hurt us. It's why I continue to say, getting in the muck or seeping to their level, right? Getting in the mud, that doesn't hurt us. There's no way for there to be respectful dialogue or compromise with Republicans in their fascist administration right now. There just isn't. I hear a lot of people say, well, you got to be able to work with people you disagree with. What about people who you disagree with and hate you and want you dead? Can you work with those people? Because I don't think that you can. I just don't. And even ICE knows that you can't work with them because their own are fleeing right now at DHS as everything falls apart. And that's where this resignation bombshell comes in. ICE Barbie's deputy, 28, ditches agency as shooting backlash boils over. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's top ally is stepping down as second in command at Immigration and Customs Enforcement as the agency faces a series of scandals and dwindling public support. Madison Sheehan, 28, the deputy director of ICE, announced Thursday that she's ditching the agency to launch a congressional campaign in Ohio. In a statement to the Daily Beast, Noem gushed that Madison is a workhorse, strong executor, and terrific leader, saying she will be a great defender of freedom when she goes to Congress. However, one DHS insider told the Beast of Sheehan's congressional hopes, if she's going to shake a lot of hands, she needs to learn not to crush them. Sheehan was parachuted into the number 2 job at ICE in March 2025 as Trump, 79, overhauled the agency's leadership and demanded a vast surge in arrests and deportations. Before that, she ran the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries and previously worked as a political aide to Noem in South Dakota. Some ICE veterans were furious that a 28-year-old with limited law enforcement experience was suddenly their boss, CBS reported. I first have to say, before getting into the implications of all of this, that this woman is currently running in Ohio's 9th Congressional District. And if you live in Ohio's 9th Congressional District, we have to make sure that she loses, right? This is a blue seat anyway, so that's helpful. But we got to make sure she loses, and when she does, I'm going to pop a bottle of champagne. Let's be really clear about that. But not only are people fleeing ICE, but I think this is a good reminder of who worked at ICE. A 28-year-old with no experience in law enforcement, not like anyone at ICE has any experience in law enforcement, was the number 2 because she was friends with Kristi Noem. Now, Kristi Noem brought all of her friends to work at DHS and to cut them big contracts for her to shoot her, Landman and Yellowstone style ads that were helpful to nobody, but I guess got her on air a lot. By the way, about those ads, and then we're going to get to the implications of this, Kristi Noem was specifically airing the ads of her on horseback and dressing up and being all tough, fake tough, with whatever hat she had on that day. She was airing them specifically near Mar-a-Lago in that TV market, hoping Donald Trump would see them, because that's what goes on here. These people serve Donald Trump. This woman who was working for ICE got called in to serve Donald Trump. Now she's running for Congress because she wants to serve Donald Trump. That is it. That is what these people do. You cannot disconnect Donald Trump from ICE. On January 20th, 2029, God willing, inshallah, we have a Democratic president. ICE isn't just going to go, well, Mr. Trump's out of there. I guess we got to, I don't know why ICE is Southern right now. I guess we got to go on and get up and get out of there. I guess that's what we're going to. No, they will still represent Donald Trump's interest. If you want Donald Trump gone from our government, you have to root out everything that he has touched and corrupted. It is not just enough to have a Democratic president when the remnants of Donald Trump, the deep state that they talked about, that's ICE. That's real. All of the justice, all the judges that Donald Trump has put in across the judiciary to do whatever he pleases, those people got to be rooted out. People breaking the law, absolutely we should be impeaching judges. Absolutely we should be abolishing ICE. Absolutely we should be firing Kash Patel. There should be no honoring of his 10-year term. That's bullshit. We have to root this out. We have to root out Donald Trump, and we have to root out the systems that put him in place. But this is what the state of DHS is right now. It is an absolute clusterfuck. That is what it is. Things are falling apart. The wheels are coming off. And good. Push back. Now is the time. They have never been more unpopular. We need to seize on that. And we need representatives who are willing to do so as well, which is why I'm glad Lawrence O'Donnell got the chance to speak with Amy Klobuchar last night. And I want to hear what the senator had to say.
They have sent 3,000 ICE agents at the last count. And our sworn officers in Minneapolis and St. Paul who are valiantly trying to do their jobs, There's only 1,100 of them. So that is what's going on. They are literally going to shopping malls. I met with some school superintendents today from the suburbs and school principals. They're also going to the close in and further out suburbs, into their parking lots, into arresting students, as was just pointed out, people who are legal, people with passports, people who are wrestled down and yelling, "I am a U.S. citizen." So this is truly an assault on our state. And when you see these people standing up in Menards parking lots and Targets, what's incredible about this is these aren't protests that have any notice that this is going to happen. These are people just standing up, filming, blowing whistles, and calling out what's happening, because people just can't tolerate that you're going to treat people in our state. It's always had a big heart, and it's been through so much this year with the assassination of Melissa and Mark Hortman and the killing of those little sweet kids in the church. To have ICE come in like that is a total outrage.
Senator, you saw the resignation yesterday, unprecedented resignation in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota. About 6 of the key prosecutors there who really make that office run. How does that change things?
Well, in a very bad way. This office is a treasure. It's gotten national justice awards in the past. One of the attorneys, Melinda Williams, worked on this major national human trafficking case. Joe Thompson, who is leading the fraud prosecutions that are righteous prosecutions where taxpayer money has been ripped off, and charged and convicted a number of people with many other cases to go. And he literally had to resign. And I spoke to him yesterday. I did not ask him the details of this resignation, but the reports are that these prosecutors who took an oath to protect the public, to make the public safe, like you've seen in other jurisdictions, like in New York with Danielle Sassoon and Hagan Scott, and they were asked to do something they weren't going to do.
Now more than ever, it is time for pushback. It is. People who I would have never thought would be interested in getting politically involved are being motivated by what they see right now. And how could you not? How could you not be motivated to stop an administration that is killing people in cold blood in the street? Why would that not want to get you motivated and involved? I know that we are depressed. I certainly am. This bums the shit out of me. If it doesn't, I would think I was crazy. But we also have to be energized to fight back. We're going to do that on this show. We just did it this morning with a great interview with Peggy Flanagan, who is running for Senate in Minnesota. Abdul Al-Sayed is running for Senate in Michigan. He is a great candidate as well. But if we want to fix what is happening in Minnesota, we need leaders who represent that state. Peggy Flanagan is one of them. Angie Craig is not. I'm going to continue to say that every time I'm talking about Minnesota. But we are going to support leaders who will actually fight for us. I'm going to do that on this show. I can promise you all that. If you want to support me in doing so, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments.